There is a narrow waterway only 48 kilometers wide, yet it controls the lifeline of the entire global economy. Yet it is precisely this 8-kilometer stretch that has become one of the most important geographic locations in the world. Whoever controls this place can almost dominate the world. And if it is blocked, it could be enough to cripple the global economy. The reason is simple. To move 70% of goods from one continent to another, they must pass through this route. In the 21st century, there are many transportation methods. You could choose to travel by airplane and arrive within just a few hours. But air transport is extremely expensive. The heavier the cargo, the higher the cost. Therefore, around 80% of global trade still relies on the oldest method used for thousands of years: maritime shipping. Under normal conditions, about 50,000 merchant ships around the world carry roughly 6 million containers of cargo, moving constantly between the oceans and continents. The dense shipping routes you see on the screen are the lifelines that keep the 21st century global economy alive. But the problem is, ocean navigation is not always smooth. The distribution of continents, islands, and landmasses naturally creates numerous strategic choke points. Trade routes have no alternative. They must pass through these locations. Once these choke points are blocked, it could deliver a devastating blow to the global economy. The blockage of the Suez Canal is a classic example. A single cargo ship accidentally ran aground, causing the canal to be blocked for several days. Nearly $10 billion in global trade was disrupted. From North America to Australia, shipping and logistics around the world suffered massive delays. There are many other strategic maritime choke points in the world. The Panama Canal controls trade between the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean across the Americas. The Cape of Good Hope controls shipping routes around Africa. The Strait of Gibraltar connects the Mediterranean Sea with the Atlantic Ocean. The Danish Straits connect the Baltic Sea with the North Sea. The Turkish Straits connect the Mediterranean Sea with the Black Sea, while the Strait of Malacca links the Pacific Ocean and the Indian Ocean. However, none of these choke points is more critical or more dangerous than the Strait of Hormuz, because it is the only sea passage connecting the Persian Gulf with the Gulf of Oman and then to the open oceans of the world. There are 8 countries along the Persian Gulf coast, including Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, and Oman. Among them, 4 countries have their only maritime access through the Persian Gulf. This means the Strait of Hormuz is their only gateway to the world's oceans. Anyone who understands the Middle East and the Gulf region knows that this area holds enormous oil reserves. But oil is only one of the reasons why the Persian Gulf and the Strait of Hormuz are so critically important. There are 8 major islands located within the strait. Ships must navigate around them. 7 of these islands are effectively controlled by Iran. 3 strategically important islands are disputed with the United Arab Emirates. But since the 1970s, they have been occupied by the Iranian military and are effectively under Iran's control. Some parts of the route have shallow underwater areas where large cruise ships cannot pass. Other sections suffer from extremely poor visibility due to islands and coastal terrain blocking sightlines. Sandstorms and dust haze occur frequently, further reducing visibility for navigation. For this reason, the United Nations established a special traffic separation scheme, with only 2 shipping lanes, each about 3 kilometers wide, 1 lane for entering and 1 lane for exiting, separated by a 3-kilometer buffer zone in the middle. The entire route passes through waters near Iran, the United Arab Emirates, and Oman. Massive global vessels must pass through this narrow corridor, leaving almost no room for unexpected obstacles. If the strait were blocked or disrupted for a long period, the world's 2nd, 3rd, and 10th largest economies could instantly be paralyzed. The main revenue sources of the 8 Persian Gulf countries would also collapse immediately. The chain reaction could almost inevitably lead to a global economic crisis. and alternative routes that bypass the strait are extremely limited. Saudi Arabia has an oil pipeline that can transport some oil and gas from Persian Gulf fields to ports on the Red Sea. The United Arab Emirates also has a similar pipeline, allowing a small portion of oil and gas to reach the Gulf of Oman without passing through the strait. But their capacity is very limited. Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, and Iraq have no such pipelines at all. In theory, these pipelines could divert at most about 20% of Persian Gulf oil exports. Building new,